Hello, Alex with Automate My Code here, and today I'd like to walk you through a workflow that I built on Zapier for my business Food Peddler. Food Peddler is a local bike-powered restaurant delivery service that I bought back in 2019. And for our online ordering, we use a white label service called Zapier, not to be confused with Zapier. And we don't have a direct integration with Zapier, but we receive confirmation emails from them that start this workflow. So the first step here is the confirmation email gets parsed in Mail Parser, and it pulls out all the key order data such as customer contact info, their address, and the order due date and due time, and so on. And for our customer database, I use a pretty lean solution, the built-in Zapier tables. And these two steps after this trigger step are looking for the customer, and we refer to them as fans internally, but it's looking for the customer in Zapier tables via their email and their phone. So in case a customer may be using a different email or phone number than the last time that they ordered, it looks for both of those. And then this step looks for the restaurant info. So this is plugging in the restaurant name, and then it's pulling some key data such as what time the restaurant opens and the placement method. And this table step is a third table. So one more time, this is just these two are searching the same table of fans. This one is looking at a table of our restaurant partners. And then this is adding the order to another table. Okay, now we have a couple of different paths here. This path is conditional if the order is a catering order. So I have some conditional logic here that if the order is above $200 in the subtotal, then we consider that a catering order. And what this path does is it will send the confirmation email to myself on Gmail so that as soon as the order comes in, typically people are going to be ordering, if it's a catering order, they'll be typically ordering at least a day in advance. So I see it as soon as it comes in, and it also creates an email draft with the same info that I can send to our partner restaurant so that I can give them a heads up so that they can be ready so that we're not sending the larger order to them last minute. Okay, now this path here, it runs regardless every time. And starting here, we have a delay step. It is delaying everything else below this until the earliest start time for that restaurant. Typically, if the restaurant opens at, say, 10:30, that means that the earliest start time is 10:30. In other cases, we have some restaurants that are very quick, so the earliest start time might be after they actually open, but when we start opening for delivery. That is just for pre-orders. Basically, if somebody orders today, that means that it'll be delayed. If it's for tomorrow, it'll be delayed until the earliest start time tomorrow. Okay, now we have another step here that is checking if the order has been canceled or rescheduled. Somebody could have ordered, and then in the time between ordering and when they'd like their food delivered, they could have canceled the order or decided they want to reschedule it. And if they do, we just go in and take care of that for them. But then that data, that update is saved in that same Zapier table that the order is saved in. So as long as the order is not canceled, it's going to continue down the workflow. This step is, by default, it's going to use the same original delivery date and time, but in case they or we do update the date and time, this will add an additional delay here. And this final step before we get into some paths is if we did update any of the order details, it'll find that here. Okay, so we have another path here. These all run based on conditional logic. So this place order here will run as long as the order is placed via a printer or phone or online. We have some restaurants that use a POS integration. So this conditional is determined based off of the data found in this step up here. So we were looking up the restaurant, and then it'll tell us what order placement method to use. Okay, so we use these Wi-Fi cloud printers called Eatabit for some of our restaurants. And if that's the case for the restaurant that the order is for, then it'll go down this path. And there are a few different formatting steps. The important steps here are it's sending the order via a webhook to Eatabit's API. Then it's waiting a couple minutes. It's checking the status of that order to make sure it was printed. Then it'll attempt to resend the order if it was not printed initially. And it'll do that same thing again, check the status. And if it's not printed after 2 attempts, then it will notify me via Telegram, which is just an encrypted messaging app. And it'll also send a chatbot with a button in Telegram. Also, it'll send to me. It's a notification in our admin group. And then this is a notification directly through a chatbot where in most of these scenarios, I would call the restaurant based off of this notification. And then if they didn't receive the order, I can attempt to send it again by pressing a button that is provided via this chatbot, which is created in ManyChat. Okay. Now, if the restaurant is not using a printer, but their orders are placed online or via the phone, then it'll just send me a plain notification with the order details and the phone number for that restaurant. Okay, now 10 minutes before the order is due, it's going to go through this path. It's going to check the status of the order in the orders table. And if it's not been picked up or delivered, then it's going to check who the peddler is who's delivering the order. And as long as there's a peddler assigned, it will message that peddler, sort of similarly to the printer chatbot flow right there. It'll message the peddler and ask them for a status update. And it just gives them 3 buttons they can press: peddler running behind, restaurant running behind, or they can do something custom. Now, in the most extreme cases, the order may not have been assigned. Something may have gone wrong with the peddler's phone. Who knows? But the order may have not actually reached the peddler, in which case this step is going to catch that, and it will message me on Telegram, letting me know. All right, we also have an integration with Google Food Ordering, and if somebody orders through a restaurant's Google business profile, then this will send them an intro email, basically introducing them to Food Peddler, because they're not necessarily going to know who we are. And then for catering, we have this path here. where if it's a big enough order, then it's going to send an order that's sort of a templated order to the peddler, recommending that they pick up the monster bag. The monster bag is this big catering bag that we have. It's great for carrying food. All right, now let's revisit these two steps here because these come into they're important now. So these two steps here are looking up to see if we can find the fan in our database either by email or by phone. And coming down here, if they are not found in either case, then we're going to consider them new. Now, there's a very small possibility that somebody could not be new, but they used both a new phone number and an email. We're just not going to worry about those people. They're gonna go through this new fan flow here. Okay. Now we're going to mark them as new in the fans database, and then we're going to schedule a thank you email to send out if the order was delivered on a Monday through Thursday, then it's going to send the thank you email the next day. If it was ordered on a Friday, then it's going to delay until Monday, send that thank you email, because we deliver just office lunches typically Monday through Friday. Okay, and then on the other hand, if the fan is found in the database, then we know they're existing. And so we update the fan in every case. So their phone number might have changed or their email might have changed. Again, we're determining that based off of if the email is found but the phone is not, then we will update the contact record for that email with the new phone number, and then vice versa. And then we also mark whenever somebody has ordered, the last time they ordered. And then finally here, if the fan is, if they are existing, if they're already in our database and they've ordered before, then we're going to ask them for a review. And we only do this one time. Basically, it's designed to ask them for a review their second time ordering. And once we do ask them via this email, just an automatic email that sends out, once we do ask them, then it doesn't ask them again. So that's taken care of here. This is basically just hitting a checkbox in their contact record saying that we have asked for a review on this date, and it will not go through this path again if that is the case. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you would like help with your own automation, then please feel free to reach out. I offer free discovery and strategy calls. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed.